this policemen were complaining that they can't put petrol now. They must go and take that petrol and put it in the generator for them.
Anything you plug in, it's
It's still demand.
It's overuse.
Overconsumption, overuse, because we are overloading the network.
It's quite interesting. When the net result is always the same thing.
Is it a treadmill or not?
In some communities are left for months without being replaced.
Hella cats, they said podcast, the podcast for energy. For energy, podcast for energy. Hella cats, they said podcast, they ain't gonna be fair, no hold back. Energy, planted by the rivers is a wool. Hella cats are gonna show you the way. Podcast for the people, we fly high with energy. Society and the remedy. Hellacast, community, reality, we stick it together as a nation. Hellacast, passion, podcast for fashion. We do it now with the real youth. Who knows the day? Who wants?
Let me take out the badge, man.
I know, I feel it.
The blue badge. Chance, I wanted to eat this thing earlier.
On the shot.
I'm looking fresh. Thing. Oh, Konja, I freeze it. That's why. Yeah, I was wondering what's happening in here. You know, Ivan, one day you'll eat these things. When you have a permanent resident in your house. Eat it. Okay. There you go. How?
Nindot. Mpanaga Allen. Pwede ka sa Allen na ba? Pwede ka sa Allen.
I'll show you a more.
So far, so good.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no.
Who's this guy?
There's
There's this guy. He took out the album. Kelvin Moore.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening this past weekend. I'm like, yeah. This boy is doing the things. So we are ready. Cut it. This is podcast. You know, Kim Natefela. Kimachense on the decks. Ivan on the decks. I and Juke. We got the Juke in the house. Welcome to Hela Podcast. Welcome to Energy Podcast. You know we back. We're not doing the bangs and whatnots and whistles. Nah. We easy. Arna Sapantote easy. It is what it is. Energy Podcast. You know what it is. Buffeto is still Tabiso out here. Pie in the energy mix. Away.
It's Buddha here. Still Buddha. Pass it off to.
Yeah, I still need a.
He's still thinking.
I still need an AKA.
nickname.
He was traumatized by that 2 days bullshit.
Yes.
He hasn't recovered.
Yeah, my brain is still in the dark.
Come to light.
Still table over here. Happy New Year for all of you I couldn't see.
Happy New Year. Welcome. Today we're beginning. It's the first episode of the year, right? So we thought, let's just recap a bit. There were quite a few things that we kind of spoke about last year, and we thought, how about we can just do a recap, especially the last episode we did on electricity. It's like we on point, so to speak. Yeah. So I don't know, as Buddha, if you can just.
I think just to take it back, episode 5.
Yeah.
I'm keeping track.
Yeah.
We spoke about the MYPD, the multi-year price determination that
Mhm.
ESCOM
Yeah.
had applied for to NERSA,
Yeah.
where they were seeking some substantial
Yes. Increase. Yeah.
increment.
36%.
Yeah. Everyone loves an increment.
Yeah.
So you see with ESCOM, I think we spoke about cumulatively it was ranging up to 42% over the 3-year period.
Yeah.
And fortunately, today we are sitting with a decision from NERSA,
Absolutely.
where they chose the moderate.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even our prediction was kind of moderate.
Yeah.
I think they were kind of conservative, because I even listened to their reasoning where they were explaining what were the considerations to what they put forward for ESCOM. It was those things that one is to avoid adverse effects on the poor communities, and also to ensure that you don't stifle economic growth. So those were some of the reasons that we had put forth, that as a consideration, basically this is what you can put forth.
True.
So basically, in terms of what was announced, I think over the 3-year cycle, the first year I think ESCOM wanted 36%. But NERSA only gave them about 12%. About 12%. And then for the subsequent years, it was an average of 5%. Whereas they asked for 12 and 9%. So you see, they kind of went halfway.
Halfway.
And even on the cumulative effect of the what NERSA gave them, it's ranging about close to 22, which is almost half of what they asked for.
I'm a 50-50. It's halfway.
50%, you see.
Shout outs to Mendoza. Man, the legend out there. Man,
So interesting enough, just the day after that announcement, we get load shedding.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was bound to happen, right? Well, no. Maybe that's the wrong way, but I don't know whether that's load shedding or what, something else, which we'll talk about just now.
Or the reduction.
Yeah, is it the yes?
Shedding or reduction.
Yes, because now apparently these are not similes. These are almost like words describing almost the same outcome,
But they totally
objective, different objectives.
And operational meaning as well, because
yes.
it's quite interesting when the net result is always the same thing.
You know,
but
is
you
it a
can't define
treadmill
it
or
as-
not?
It's
It's the same. Eh?
It's interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's a good point on electricity. The predictions there, and we I'm not sure. I think we're okay with whatever outcome there is, right?
I mean, what option do you?
What other options do we have, right?
Well,
so
there is one option.
yeah, it is what it is,
I
man.
won't say it. but-
Yeah.
See, let's hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the ones who know, they know.
They
so
know,
They
yeah.
know.
I think that's the one topic that we can link it with what we wanted to talk about today. It's today's kind of a new I don't know what to call it. You know, it's a new thing now. If you hear in the news, now we no longer talk about load shedding. We are done with load shedding. Now we are into another one called load reduction. Yeah. Get load to epikinya, I guess. Yeah. Big.
Yeah,
So-
now
so-
I'm confused about. I guess it's just a matter of nomenclature, but
Yeah.
I'm still confused about, and even being in the energy space myself, I'm still confused about what
What is energy load? What is energy load reduction?
Yes.
Maybe we need to define that. I don't know if we can come up with a generic way based on what we've seen in the news, what we've heard from people, ESCOM. What do we understand by load reduction? What is it?
Look, for me, like I'm saying, I'm still confused about
puzzled about it.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
if the outcome is basically
The same.
still people not having access to
Yeah,
electricity.
yeah.
But without complicating it, if you look at what load reduction is not verbatim.
Yeah.
It actually talks to the system or the national grid's ability to actually handle the demand that's coming from the users of the electricity or the consumers, but basically based on the ability of the system to handle the load based on
the demand,
but not the demand with the legal
Yes,
users,
yes.
but that aspect of the users who
overload.
actually who overload the system
Yeah.
through other means. And
yeah.
because of that, the municipality can make a decision as to whether, based on the needs that they have, whether they would go into a specific region and try to limit, access to electricity in that regard by reducing
So
the
if you want more, I cut.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it I think the only thing that is a differentiating factor is the fact that the municipality makes an assessment of, what's the pressure on the grid, and based on those illegal connections or electricity being accessed illegally.
But here's an interesting thing, and to your point, and now maybe we can define load reduction from that angle. What then becomes the point is, are we only starting to know about load, the needs, that word demand? I think demand has always been there. Why is it now an issue? At the time it was due to generation, right? Generation was insufficient.
Yeah.
Now there's generation, and now
the
we're saying
infrastructure can handle it.
well, yes, but we're saying there's more demand, right? If we get to the demand aspect, but we've always known the demand, even whether there's illegal connections, so to speak. I think the word illegal is used across, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Do we still want to be surprised, like, oh shit, there's new demand now, like we didn't know about this? You know what I mean? That aspect, in that definition, it puzzles me a bit.
That's why I'm confused.
Yeah.
Because for me, I mean, these things are forecasted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an exact science as to how populations actually move and what type of infrastructure we actually have in the different areas, whether it be an economic hub, whether it be an industrial sort of area. So it can't be a surprise. For me, it talks to, a planning issue that we actually touched on when we were unpacking what the IRP actually talks to. So for me, this is something we should have already known, 5 years ago?
We should have known. Well, in fact, throughout, I think that you supply electricity based on demand.
You know what I'm
you
saying?
can predict or project what the demands are, whether is it
but also the thing is, load reduction is not new. It's been there. It's just that now it's been rolled out to a wider communities. And maybe that's the problem, that it comes off as something new, whereas it's been there. But because it was only affecting small communities.
But now it's Buddha, if I ask that, because I think they are saying now load reduction is applying to specific regions. So as you say now, maybe back then people didn't know load reduction per se, but you could also argue that maybe it's because there was never an access to electricity to begin with in those specific areas. So do we want to put it to say because there's a new kind of new groups or new communities, and therefore there's this demand that is excessive, including that which we regard as probably illegal as well, or heavy demand. How does that all together fit into the definition? It's still puzzling. The aspect you're saying, people didn't know. Of course, we didn't know that this is load reduction. We just knew. As we used to say, mabonetim, and that's it. It is what it is. Nothing more than that. But then then there was a definition called load shedding, which we understood from capacity, right? Generation. Now apparently the generation is there. We've got the plants are running, everything is good. Now there's
The
an issue of
infrastructure can
infrastructure,
help.
but it's still amazing to me.
Mm.
We're saying we've got enough capacity. In fact, we've got excessive capacity generation, right?
Yeah.
But yet there's this demand that is so much that we have to. So it means we are not well capacitated then from generation, don't you think?
And again, for me, based on
Yeah.
just to follow up from your point, I mean, when you look at the season that we are in,
Yeah.
I would understand if we're in a winter peak season and all these things are
Yeah, yeah,
happening. You cannot tell me, we are in the season that we're in, experiencing heat waves and
Yeah.
everything, and we still need to have a mirror image of what happens in terms of electricity access in winter.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what the difference really is in terms of
Yes,
definition.
yes,
I still
yes.
struggle to.
So it could be another way of defining. Maybe
Load
this is
shedding.
load shedding because
Yes.
you still have maybe not enough generation,
Yes.
and there's this demand, and you're saying, well, the
Can't
demand is
service.
there now.
Yeah.
Now the problem is and unfortunately it leans more towards that aspect of illegal, because like everything now is
Yeah.
probably blamed on illegal or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Scapegoat.
yeah, it's kind of a scapegoat thing, but it still doesn't make the definition valid. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
Because even if you take it to first principles or the basis of it,
Yeah.
they saying the energy availability factor has actually improved over the years.
Yes,
according to
yes,
what-
yes.
So how do you say you have an increase in terms of the capacity that you can
Yet
generate?
you can accommodate that
You
demand.
know what I'm saying? So for
Yeah.
me, it really doesn't
No,
make
that's
sense.
that's an
Maybe
interesting
we
one.
need somebody who's a specialist in the area.
In
to
in
come
electricity,
and-
no?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think the simplest way to really unpack it is
Yeah.
load shedding. It's a generation side. Load
Yeah.
reduction is distribution side.
Distribution
Yes.
side.
You see.
Yeah.
So meaning that with load reduction, the difference is
Mhm.
it's your distribution. When you talk distribution, you're talking equipment.
Mm.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
talking network.
Infrastructure.
Meaning that the network cannot keep up
Mhm.
with that localized demand.
Demand, yeah.
Which is why you would have specific communities that are affected.
Yeah.
And also, it's a non-fact that I think even Eskom themselves, they pride themselves in this thing that they service paying users first.
Yeah.
So meaning if there's an outage
Mhm.
on different places, they'll always prioritize the ones who pay first,
Okay.
regardless of when the outage happened or how extensive the outage is.
Mhm.
So meaning that whenever they undertake like you're attending outages and stuff,
Yeah,
they always
they-
prioritize the paying customers
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
And even on the definition of load reduction, it's that the reason they'll do load reduction in an area,
Yeah.
it's either one, it's a non-paying area,
Mhm.
or two, the
High demand.
demand is
Yes.
very high.
Yeah.
And I think just to give it a bit more perspective, you look at the times where the load reduction is implemented, it's peak times.
Yes.
Unlike load shedding was throughout,
Yeah.
just different areas.
Yeah,
You see.
and you know, Buddha, what you're saying is actually a fact. But now here's the thing: if you do load reduction on areas where there's high demand, and probably those are areas where there's more economic activity, so the impact.
Not necessarily economic activity, because
Yeah,
most of the areas you won't see load reduction in the CBD.
but yeah, the reason why I'm saying that
That's where the confusion actually comes.
in the definition, because it says you cut
Because
those
of the
areas
demand, you can't
with-
handle the demand.
yes, and the high demand areas will be your high economic
Yeah,
activity
but
areas,
it's
right? Especially
on
during
you see on the definition,
Yeah.
it will say it's a high consumption
Yes.
area, but also linked with non-payment.
Yes.
but
And that illegal
but
aspect
then
of-
it doesn't make sense.
I think
because
that is that is what is more defining for me, because
The-
otherwise why are we not loaded that
reducing on
The industrial
in
area.
then it means the definition is specific.
Exactly.
It's definite on
I
a
wanted to
particular
run
group,
away from exactly.
I suppose.
And my issue is, what I see the criteria, right? And when we were talking about access to electricity, we spoke about it from a perspective of it being a basic human need in this day and age. So if you're coming up with a criteria and you base it on the fact that it's a non-paying area, what about the basic needs of the people in those areas? How do we, as government or as entities, actually responsible for this, try to match that gap? How do you make sure that you recoup as much as you can recoup from those non-paying areas whilst providing that basic need? Because it's not only people who are they're not using electricity recreationally. There are people who have medical devices that depend on the use of electricity in those regions. There are people whose whole livelihood in terms of subsistence actually depend on access to electricity, and you might find they are just a statistic in that area. So the approach to have a view that says it's a blanket approach to an area, but there are a few homes that actually do,
actually,
what I'm saying, that pay, and they play their part in terms of that. So how do we take care of such issues?
It's a complicated one. Then it means the definition may have unintended consequences.
Definitely.
That as you're putting it, but also Buddha.
No, I think just on the point Tebza was making, and just to take it back to, I think we even discussed it before, that currently the South African Human Rights Council is undertaking national consultations on load reduction, because there's a perception that load reduction only targets historically disadvantaged communities, predominantly poor communities, wherein certain basic rights are being violated, either on the access to services and just the basic human rights of dignity and the likes. So it's an interesting one, because what they're trying to investigate is exactly that now they have to look at the facts, whether the criteria for load reduction itself is justified. The measures to avoid or to mitigate it are justified, and the impact of load reduction in those communities.
So it means load reduction definition itself, then it's no longer almost like it's no longer a technical definition, or you can say a technical definition that has socio-economic impacts, and that are more significant in those specific regions, as you put it. I thought it's more of a general kind of a definition, but if now it's targeted, and hence why Human Rights Commission is doing that work, then it makes sense. One simple electricity definition of this thing, load reduction, which we spoke about, it's an issue of demand. So when you put a heater on, then the electricity moves from its generation to the heater itself. You know what I'm saying? So that in itself, if there's more of a need this side, you have to cut electricity to be able to accommodate for that. Then and hence why I think the definition must be not only be a technical one, especially for Eskom, because probably Eskom is looking at it from a technical point of view to say there's more demand there, which I also still argue, because if you go to the locations or areas where there's less economic activities, or where there's I don't know how to classify those communities, let's say poorer communities where load reduction is applied, during the day most of the people will actually go and look for jobs, and there's actually less demand in those areas. More demand is actually in the economic hubs.
For
So
me,
it makes no sense.
You're making a very valid point, because for me, I thought I should just add before it escapes me. On the same example that you're making, what possible infrastructure could those poorer communities actually have to warrant there being load reduction in those areas during those times that it
Apparently,
happens.
it's, so I don't know.
So
but-
it's that element as
Yeah.
well.
But I
which
think
is
it's
minimal,
more,
probably.
It's more an issue of using extensive views at,
Yeah.
at a specific time,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
is mainly like mornings and evenings,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because especially for issues of residential, the bulk of use of electricity is
Yeah.
during mornings and evenings.
Yeah,
That's
those are
where-
peak
that's where it
hours.
peaks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the question is now, if you are saying it's those communities only,
Mm.
it can't really be right if it's purely on a technical aspect, because it means even on the distribution plan,
Yeah, yeah.
it means you undercapacitated your infrastructure there.
Yes.
Exactly.
In any
such
case,
a
the
way
infrastructure
that-
is limited there.
Yes,
Exactly.
meaning,
Yes.
meaning that
Yeah.
you are either under investing
Mhm.
or not maintaining sufficient infrastructure. For example, because mainly I think the issue is mainly on the transformers and the mini substations.
Yes.
Because those are the things basically that are being protected
Mhm.
when you undertake load reduction.
Reduction, yeah.
Protecting a transformer from exploding.
Yes.
Or a substation from failing.
Yeah.
Exploding, which is what we also realize it happens.
Mm.
And
Mm.
some communities are left for months without
Yeah.
being
That transformer being replaced, yeah.
replaced,
Yeah.
where there's audits that need to be completed.
Mm.
In some households they delay the process because they refuse audits.
Oh yeah.
You see, which is another issue there.
Mm.
So, and I think because I was just following the testimonies or the submissions that were being made to the South African Human Rights Council.
Yeah.
Some of
Is it council or commission?
commission.
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, just know it.
That one, yeah.
That one. That looks to
Yeah.
human rights.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Not the other commission that.
No, no,
okay.
no. That one. Yeah. The $1 billion.
Yeah, no, dollar bill.
Yeah. So most of the people who are giving oral evidence, it's mainly affected communities.
Yeah.
So some communities who are coming there, they were saying they haven't had electricity for years, and what happened? A transformer exploded.
Mm-hmm.
In some communities, they come and say ESCOM requested that there must be a minimum purchase of electricity per household for load reduction to stop. But they come and say households can only afford so much.
But
For example,
and it's
so-
interesting what that
Wait,
even means.
Yeah, that's.
You know what I
want
mean?
to latch on to that.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
interesting because
I think it's more also because as
it's
Debs
like
was saying,
fucking Maluzo boy. You
it's
know what I
yeah,
mean?
It's a focused demand,
Yeah.
Yeah,
meaning that I know the density of the network
yeah.
Yeah.
or the community here.
Yes.
So meaning I can already focus demand
Yes.
of
Yes.
this community.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So meaning I can know what to expect even in terms of revenue.
Yes.
So meaning if I'm not getting that, it
Then,
means it's either I'm either losing it
Mm.
or they're not using it.
Yeah.
So you can
That-
divert
that-
your services then to areas that you think
Areas
that
that-
you're going to recoup from.
But then you see, then
The
the element of even with that, the element of public interest, especially ESCOM, it serves the public, right?
Yeah.
Why would they consider maybe I will classify it as profits, so
Yeah.
to speak,
The
because
bottom line.
yes, I can't go if you
Yeah.
go below that,
Mm.
I'm not interested, so to speak. I'm not saying it's exactly
Yeah.
like that,
And it's
but
extortion.
yes,
But
but
that's what they say. They say
You know.
they are told they have to spend a minimum threshold.
imagine. Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Considering already the electricity prices
Yeah.
they are skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And you expect people to.
Yeah, I wonder what the regulator says about that, NERSA, because I suppose that's the space they should be playing to say, how do we ensure access to electricity to everyone, and even in those areas where there would be lesser, whatever payments,
Payments, yeah.
for ESCOM to be able to supply them, but there should be that, I don't know, that issue must be kind of resolved or a solution around it.
But I think just on that inquiry by the Human Rights Commission,
Yeah.
it will be a step in the right direction for even intervention from government or regulators, because I think even I saw on the roster of the people who are being invited to testify, they invited energy experts, they invited government, they invited the regulators. So
They didn't invite us.
you get a diverse view. You get a diverse view of what are the issues.
Yeah.
And we trust in their impartiality to give us a perspective, because really what we need here is a recommendation where government can step in.
Yeah.
Perhaps it will be some of those issues we touched on, that perhaps some of these communities are the communities that are kind of missing in the middle, because they are not covered by your programs like your indigent program, which caters for households, the poor households, to have at least some minimum electricity coming from as a free basic electricity, for example, as opposed to having to, either bypass meters or connect illegally.
Yeah.
And that's only if that is what is claimed is one of the precursors for an area to be under load reduction.
Yeah, and it's interesting because now we have seen what we spoke about in the previous one, the ESCOM getting the 12%, and you ask yourself, we've got this problem now of load reduction. Will this 12% also go into that area of resolving load reduction? Or is it just for ESCOM in terms of generation, distribution and other things? With this problem, how are we going to resolve it? Because the money already is going there, let alone other problems of SANDF where the money, But the point is, how are we going to solve on the load reduction? With ESCOM now already given the 12%, they've got other interests or other areas to focus on. How are we going to resolve this load reduction issue? Well, Human Research Council is doing its thing, or Commission is doing its thing. We hope that whatever the outcome is, we should be able to at least find solutions. I think the intention is to find solutions. That's the understanding. But I think we must also get to the nitty-gritties of there's a technical definition, and there's also maybe this definition is the same but has other impacts, socio-economic. I was hearing this there was reading an article, this policemen were complaining that they can't put petrol now, they must go and take that petrol and put it in the generator for them to use. So they say they can't go and patrol because
so they need to keep the lights.
No, they have to keep the cars running.
Yeah.
Well, there's the lights on,
at the station,
but they can't move around because they
need air.
Yes, it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act. It's a very serious problem.
But the more severe impact or the consequence or the risk is we can't have the load reduction basically running unchecked, because currently it's indefinite. And when you look at the reasoning for implementing the load reduction, you don't foresee it ending anytime soon.
It won't, good, and I'll tell you why. The factors that are given for there to be a phenomenon like that anyway are perpetual societal problems, yet the definition of it is technical. One of the factors that they attribute to there being such a load reduction mechanism is continuous theft of cables and vandalism
I was by the way, I was in a train this morning and it got I don't know whether, but they said there's power. There's no power. So
if you look at that on its own, we are one of those countries that have issues with ongoing crime or criminal activity, vandalism of infrastructure being at the foremost of it now. So if you look at how they've coined this definition of load reduction, I don't see it ever ending if it hinges on phenomenons like theft. It's not even a phenomenon.
It's a reality.
It's a reality.
It's a lived
you know what I'm
experience.
saying? Yeah. So for me, I think I could be grasping at straws here, but I think it's just another way to create a problem for a problem, so that we can throw money at it, and we know what happens to such monies that are intended for good use. So for me, it's just a perpetual cycle, and it's unfortunate. The people at the end of it are the ones that will always bear the brunt, and it's really a sad situation. It's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, it is. The solutions, we need solutions.
We really do.
Really need solutions.
But I'm really looking forward to the outcomes then of the.
Yeah,
of the
it will be interesting.
Yes.
Electrical load is actually anything that consumes electrical power. So
Anything you plug in, it's a load.
then what then the definition? Hence, you were right to say it's on the demand side, but then it's like me saying I'm reducing the demand side by doing what? By cutting the supply side.
No, there's.
You get what I'm saying? How do I?
Not necessarily. I think.
Yeah, but you're cutting.
It might be a demand issue, but mainly it's an issue of over consumption.
Yes.
If you think about it, because in terms of generation capacity, it's there.
I get you, ne? In terms of what you mean.
But what is
English-wise.
overconsumption?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right? it's still demand.
It's
Overuse.
Overconsumption, overuse, because
we are
overloading the network.
But
meaning you must shed some.
Was the network not designed for
to handle
whatever load that we have?
To handle a specific load.
Yeah.
So
meaning if you exceed that load.
So why don't we improve the infrastructure then?
That's the biggest question now.
Because
instead of opting for cutting the load.
Yes, because what
beef up your infrastructure.
Yes.
That question, that problem looks simple to solve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure there's infrastructure.
I suppose maybe that's why they are investing in the the distribution side of things and the transmission as well.
Unbundling of
Yes. So maybe that is the solution to the problem.
Or maybe there's a problem being created so that
there's a crisis.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Look, the recipe is the same.
It's the same. The outcome is the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. It's not like, and we touched on it when we started. It's not like we didn't know that we have issues of infrastructure. We have informal settlements. We have infrastructure that is aging, that is dilapidated, that is being vandalized. Why isn't there a focused program of action on those things to make sure that whatever we generate, we can actually distribute accordingly? I don't understand.
I think that should be one of the solutions. The focus area.
Yeah.
Hopefully, human research. What is it?
Human rights.
Yeah, it's not research, rights. There are
They
too many humans.
undertaking some R&D.
Maybe they must say human being, then things will be focused on people,
Yes.
So yeah,
It's all about people at the end of the day. You don't have an economy if you don't have people.
Absolutely.
People need that electricity as a driver for economic
economic
viability.
activity.
So you can't divorce this.
Yeah.
So
No,
for
absolutely.
For me, we must humanize our systems.
Yeah, for the humanity.
Yes, I mean, with the advent of AI, I don't know, but
Is
but we must,
Getting
you know what I'm saying. So for me, it's a simple problem that will get money thrown at it, and we know what's going to happen. So
Will you ever buy a robot?
to do what?
No, there's intelligence, artificial intelligence.
Yeah, but
you
to
know
do
this
what?
thing.
Like
No, they can chill with you there.
No.
And then you say, hey, man, go and wash dishes.
No.
It
Must
washes
wash your
dishes.
there.
Yeah,
No.
Hey, man, go do my garden there.
No, I wouldn't.
And you will just be relaxed.
Yeah, you just relax.
Maybe to wash the car.
I mean, massage me.
But can I watch that Will Smith movie? The one with the robots. Can I watch that
iRobot.
movie?
iRobot, yeah, Will Smith.
No, he scared me. That guy.
No,
that
man.
plot actually scared me. So no, but I think for me, I don't know. No, I personally no.
Yeah.
No, I like human interaction, and I'm all for people spending time with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Getting
mean,
the-
already load reduction
It's
is
forcing you to-
it's moving in that direction. Yeah.
It's forcing you to spend time with loved ones. Maybe there's a positive
You see,
aspect of
spin
it.
to it,
you know?
yeah.
So-
That's what they said about load shedding.
Yeah,
Yes,
it makes you
yes.
romantic.
Yeah.
You have
Must
to
put
like-
those
There's
phones
always
down.
a lemonade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
put those phones
Very
down.
true.
Yeah.
Light a candle.
You know?
Yeah,
you
and
know.
speak to your person.
Yeah.
What if you not
That's how it is.
What if you're not having a particularly nice day with your person?
No, you must sing that song.
You are forced to
I know my
address your
feelings.
issues.
I know
You have a
they
visitor
go
there.
together. I know this.
You can come join the conversation. Come join the conversation.
Listen to this guy.
Come, come.
Rasha,
No, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need solutions.
Yeah, we need solutions, man. So the topic of load reduction, I think, is an important one. It's critical one. So we will see. I think in the next few whatever months or days, we'll get to hear about how human
Right.
Man,
rights
I
can
have to Google this thing.
Yeah,
you
human-
can't keep getting it wrong. the
Human
whole
Rights
time.
Council or Commission,
Yes.
man, how they're going to resolve on this issue, at least for the benefit of the people.
It's a commission.
It's a commission.
It
Eh?
is.
Yeah, issues like that are commission issues. Eh?
Yeah.
So that's why you make a commission. So, so what that song of KO?
Which one?
Ndlele Commission. Is it- What?
Which
Yeah,
one? What are
that's
you-
all, man.
I don't know. Which one.
Yeah, is it
Ah,
not mission
man.
statement?
Ndlele Commission. Mina izintsha zami, yeah, mina nezintsha zami zidlela commission. Something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So you eat from
That's
a cup.
Pureba Kwasha.
What?
Something like
That's a
you
very
don't
good
remember
song.
it, Ivan?
Yeah, I remember the song.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I forgot the
Yeah,
name also,
nah.
but I know the lyrics.
Yeah,
Karakara.
Dubula. Is it?
it's not
No, it's not
Karakara.
Karakara.
Yeah.
It's something, man. I
Yeah.
can't recall the song. Yeah, so now I'm remembering commission.
No, I hear that song playing, but I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
can't access it. With what's his name? This guy. What's his name? This guy. He's no longer with KO. Man.
Is it?
Not my E. The other guy. He had dreads at some point playing.
Oh, the. Yeah, man. Ish.
I forget his
Hey,
name.
no, hip hop dog. Hip hop.
Oh, but we'll remember the names.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So probably what we can now probably learn into is the usuals.
Mm.
But before that, I thought we could just run a young quiz, nyana.
Ooh.
Just
You want
just
to
to
expose us now?
it's Jan, bruh. Like
And
that's-
Ivy,
no, it's actually
Ivy.
February. It's
I mean,
Feb.
it's February. It's,
It's
the month
February.
of love. G.
It's month
You
of
can
love.
actually participate.
Whee!
We want answers from Ivan. Ivan is the cameraman. by the way.
Yeah, we
We
got
want
my
answers
our
from
cameraman
you.
here, Ivan. By the way, so here's a quiz, ne?
Can we Google the answers?
Nah. I'm the one who's googling out here. I'm the ability to do work.
Hey, the ability to do work.
Yeah.
As a, you're a human being. What are you saying?
No. No, we talk about energy out here.
Energy. Oh, the answer is
Yeah.
energy. Oh,
Yeah.
That formula.
So,
oh.
yeah, energy is there. Ability to do
Do
work.
work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this one is
It's a
simple.
basic
ne?
one.
This one is simple. This
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we had a shot, we'll actually have a shot of antifreeze, but we don't do this thing. So, I bring light and heat from the skies.
The sun.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, is there a price? Maybe.
Solar.
Maybe
Yeah,
I want to win
no.
something. I want
There's
to
no
win
prize.
something. Oh, is
There
it-
is no
is it
Yeah, I
prize.
was gonna be competitive.
You see, a competitive price.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It needs
Then it
incentives.
means you are escort.
Yeah, the
It
price
needs
is not
incentives
competitive.
there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. No, yeah.
Um,
What's the other one?
I'm called cool, gas or oil. I'm called coal, gas or oil.
Yeah.
I'm fossil fuels.
Yeah. That's the next one.
That's what's good.
No, it was Boosie. You saw that question.
No, he didn't.
You didn't even finish
I'm-
the question. How
I'm-
does he know the answer?
I'm that good. I'm that good.
He's the fossil man.
He's the fossil
Yeah,
man.
yes, Buddha, you are the fossil man. Yeah, the fossil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did.
Eh, I'm used for nuclear energy.
Uranium.
Ah.
Uranium.
yeah. Aye.
It's too broad.
No, you must use peacefully. You must
No, it
peacefully
is,
and
it is.
gracefully. You must accept it.
So this one, yeah. The way of saving energy. That's a tough one. If you get this one, no, that thing doesn't save energy. No,
Is it
that one is
on
deliberate.
energy efficiency?
No,
Conservation of energy.
you are almost there. You are almost there. I am not. I am the way. I'm the way of the light. That one is different.
Yeah, repeat that. Let's hear it again.
I am the way of saving energy.
Way of saving energy.
We are very close. We are very close. There from school, there they say we put. You see, if you put the book there,
Yeah.
when it falls, I'm giving you the answer there.
Potential energy.
Yeah.
I had to think about this one.
No, that actually
Yeah.
that gave it away.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Kinetic
Yeah.
energy.
I had to think about it.
Yeah.
Gee.
No,
I'm
no,
thinking-
that's it.
I'm
That's
think-
it.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
Yeah.
too
those
deep.
were nice.
In
You
it.
took us back. Eh?
Yeah, man, old
Took
school.
us back,
Let's go back a bit.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
these young guys behind the camera should have answered.
No, they were listening to us. Like, listen to these fossils. They are renewables.
Yeah, these are renewables.
Yeah.
Enemies of progress.
Yeah, they,
Yeah, the next one is you.
no, definitely. Alright, gents.
Yeah.
Petrol prices for this month.
Yes. I think it's a very
They went
important-
up. ne?
Yeah, they went up.
They-
I
they-
think about 80 something cents
Yeah,
per
I think
liter.
They
Yeah.
said,
For
it's actually 82 cents per liter
Yeah.
for your 93 and 95.
yeah.
And then for diesel, it's 1 rand 1 cent and 1 rand 5 cents for
Yeah.
the 50 ppm and the 500
uh-huh.
ppm. So I think I googled a bit what
It's not
the difference is. Yeah,
Looking good.
No, it's not. We are on an uphill because last month it also went up. Remember when we were
It
reporting?
was very
Yes.
Yeah.
minor, some 15 cents.
Yeah.
But now the rise.
Now
is-
it's
is
significant.
So
quite steep.
cumulatively, it's above.
It's
1 rand. Yeah.
Yes, that's my worry actually.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when you're looking at the fact that it's really everything. It's not just
Yeah.
on
On top of the 12%
on top of the
electricity
yes,
Yeah. That's another thing.
Now the
So-
Reserve Bank at least made you guys.
But that's another way of balancing it. So you must go and spend, buy more electricity.
It's an equalizer.
You're robbing from Peter
Equalize.
to pay. Yeah, you're robbing from Peter to pay. Paul.
Yeah,
So
is it equalizer 2 or 3?
Yeah, so yeah,
This one is four.
It's
it's
four.
actually people have already felt the brunt, man, because I mean they've gone to the pumps even
Yeah.
after the Wednesday
Yeah.
thing. So for now, for the month of February, from January, actually people are paying, and it's actually interesting what you say.
Yeah.
Our cumulatively it's at the 1 rand mark,
Yeah.
because you were, for example, for 93 of petrol, you're actually paying 21 rand 34 cents at the pump. Now it's 22 rand 16 cents. It doesn't feel like much when you say it like that, but when you
Yeah.
really
Till
have
you
to-
really, yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah,
watching that thing go up.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
see that.
So you are driving.
1 rand is nothing.
It's you.
Yeah.
You are driving, Ivan, or are you still?
No.
on a-
What?
So you don't feel the brand of the petrol price.
Nobody's feeling the heat.
Everyone is driving.
Everyone is feeling it, because I was
Yeah.
about to say with that it's not only the price increase in the fuel itself, but
Yeah.
it's food prices as well. You know
Oh,
that
yeah.
normally follows.
Yeah,
so
ordinarily.
everyone is.
You know the taxis
Man,
and everything else. Yeah.
and it's interesting when the fuel prices actually go up
Yeah.
with the taxis, they go up. Ne?
They go
They
up.
don't go down.
No, they don't go down.
They don't reduce.
That's not.
it.
That doesn't make business.
You know what I'm saying?
The
So,
business
yeah.
must go up.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make business sense.
No,
make
no, you must go.
business
The
sense, yeah.
economy must grow.
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
up.
true, very
You
true.
know what I
There's
mean?
no
So-
backwards there.
No.
Yeah,
we're
so
moving
for
forward.
99, for 95,
Yeah.
you know, now you actually have to pay 22 rands, 41 cents a litre.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
you
It's
know,
really a
must pack that G wagon.
lot. You have a G-Wagon?
No, I'm saying, you know, generally.
So, because I was about to say, people
I don't-
who have G-Wagons don't worry.
No, my
about
G-Wagon
it.
is there.
They don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. don't worry about petrol price increases. They are fine.
No, they're fine.
As I want to ask you, so for the 50 ppm diesel, it was 19 rands 29 cents.
Yeah. No, not
Yeah.
that you're saying that.
Yeah.
That song, yeah, Casper.
Yeah.
You were saying I want a C63.
And I wish I could tell you
Yeah,
the real reason why
yeah.
I want this is.
It's
You
because
know the real reason.
it's because I want to burn more petrol. I
No,
don't know.
there's a real reason.
What is
Actually-
this
He
one?
actually is.
Yeah.
He provided the real reason.
Hey.
Yeah, he had a.
What's more problem?
That's
Yeah, he had a Lizotti. Yeah, this Lizotti was taken by someone
Yeah.
who had a
So
sister.
he wanted to
because
load-
she liked the car.
Yeah,
Lizotti.
to load reduce on the other side.
What's the cause of
So I think he just wanted to show the girl, you see, you wrote me off. Look
Yeah.
now, you know. So
Yeah,
but that's another topic altogether.
man. Hey,
So, yeah.
one day, next-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now for the diesel guys, you're paying 20 rands, 34 cents per liter this
Yes.
month. So
Yeah, it's hectic.
yeah. And for 500 ppm, same thing. 19 rands 44 cents last month, and 20 rands 45 cents this month. Yeah.
We need to drill oil somewhere in this country.
Yeah, actually we should.
Yeah, we should just get
But
it.
now they're going to create a problem for your solution. Now they're going to say you don't have refineries overseas.
No, we'll find a way. There's
But-
always a way.
No, but my thing has always been, and it's a nice proposal that you're making for us to drill oil if it's here.
Yeah.
But we have oil in Nigeria. Why
But isn't
do
it
we
far?
not
I mean, if you look at from there to get here, and there's countries in between,
do you think
they
what-
can always demand
but
unreasonably.
you see, maybe that's an issue again. But again,
Yeah.
Africa must unite.
Unite,
must
yeah.
have infrastructure that
Yeah.
actually promotes African
Yeah.
prosperity. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, it's another issue altogether. It's what the late Mama Gaddafi
Yeah.
actually wanted to do
Uh-huh.
for the African continent, and we know what happened
Hey.
with the
According-
with the we know what happened with
Yeah.
the influence of the West.
We
So
are
those are
living-
not
we are living in
conversations.
interesting times.
Yeah, man. So for me, I won't even go.
Yeah,
into
it's too far. It's
conversation.
too far.
Yeah,
You might
so-
miss you tomorrow.
Yeah.
you might need to announce something when we sit next time. Yeah, so that was basically it
Yeah.
on the petrol increases. I thought it's always good for people to know what people are facing out here. It's
Yeah.
not always nice to be in that M3 and
Yeah.
you're doing the on the road,
Then,
but people don't understand
no,
what it takes.
yeah,
you know,
what
so-
it takes.
Yeah.
But I
it's a
think
real
also
problem.
just down the line,
Yeah.
we may want to dive into the pricing mechanism of
Oh
of
yeah.
fuel.
I think I
you
recall
are
we once
actually right.
Yeah.
spoke about that.
You
no?
should,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
actually the reason why
Mm.
there are subtle differences between fuel that you get inland as opposed to
And coastal.
coastal,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
why you
Yeah.
that's actually
And why
That's-
our
that's
neighbors
good.
in Botswana they pay
exactly
less
Yes.
than
Than
us,
us.
but they import it
From
us.
us.
yes.
So,
No, it's actually
Yeah.
an interesting
No,
one.
that I think
We should,
definitely.
yeah, we should.
No, definitely.
Mm.
I
Good
think
one.
yeah.
No, I was saying it's a good one.
It's
No,
a
we
good
should.
one, brilliant, good, brilliant. That's the next episode, ne?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next episode in 2 weeks time.
Yeah.
Away.
Mm.
I think we can
Reduction.
we can reduce the episode now. It's been a nice one.
Till
Yeah.
next
Yeah,
time.
until next time. Yeah.
Till next
Peace
time.
out. Peace
Yeah,
out. Peace
we'll try
out.
and simplify and
Yeah.
overcomplicate
Yeah.
issues.
The knowledge, man.
We still-
Yeah.
How do it goes up? Good up.
No, it's done, man. It's
Yeah, we done. Close up. Cut it.
Cut. Director, cut.
Yeah. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it.
So now I want
Say energy ain't gonna be bad. You're doing the most. Minerals for the nation. I'm not sure what I have. Ain't gonna be fair. I be doing this, don't pay me. Sacrificing for the money game. Yeah. Someone get energy. Vulnerable to the technology. Society, public. I want you to learn that this energy ain't gonna be fair. Gonna be fair. Vulnerable to the energy. Podcast. Hella kiss. Yeah, how's this hella kiss? Energy, my K shit.